Video and YouTube channels work much better when you turn the camera on.
Sorry.
At least I hadn't gotten far this time. All right, we're gonna take a look in the big beehive here and see what we've got.
Ooh, wow. Oh, wow. Look at all the nectar. Holy smokes. Okay. Well, that looked good.
That's a lot of nectar. Okay, this is a little band of honey right here across the top that's that the bees have already capped. But the back side of this thing, I don't know if you can see, glistening there, that's full of nectar way down on there. It's not being capped, but it's probably getting pretty close.
Let's see it. Get a picture.
If you've been following us this year, you noticed that we did not go in these hives many times after we got them queened right. Man, that's a lot of nectar. So when we got them like we wanted them, as far as making sure we had a queen in all of them and that they were doing okay, we put a lot of frames in these bees and we left and went to our other home. That way we didn't have to worry about coming and putting more frames in. And you can see, I guess you can see by the glistening how much nectar's in there. So we got to see what we got here. We didn't want them to run out of space, so we put a lot of combs in, a lot of frames in. Man, that's got a little bit of weight to it. Just a little small patch of honey there.
And they've drawn it all the way out.
Yeah, this box, man, they've drawn out a bunch of frames.
Yeah.
One little spot of honey back here on the back.
I can't believe how much nectar's in there. Every frame is just completely full of nectar.
It's not full, but it's got a lot. Get up here and see if they got some capped. They've got the top banded on all of these. You know, top several inches. Set that frame out. If you remember, this is the colony that we tried to do an in-frame, in-hive split because we had a bunch of queen cells and no queen. So we put the divider board in the middle, had queen cells over here and queen cells over here, and neither side requeened on this one. So then we took a frame out of another hive that had queen cells on it and put it in here and just put it all back together. And that's why some of these middle frames don't really have anything on it, but the end ones did. The second time that we put queen cells after we combined it, put the queen cells in, and they didn't do anything. So our third and last attempt was, we took one of the small swarms we caught and put in here, and it looks like they thrived all summer. They were busy, but it was a very small swarm that we put in. So these bees have been coming in this entrance here, skipping over these middle, and that's wild, and moved back down here to the back end. That's kind of strange. So this whole end is pretty much empty. So we put the small swarm up here in the front. And when we did go back and look at it later, they were doing great. That came out of the swarm trap, and they had brood here. But they seemed like they kind of moved to the other end of the box. That's strange to me. This colony didn't make it. There's our queen.
Oh.
This is slimed.
Oh.
Okay.
So you found our queen dead in the bottom?
Yeah.
Oh.
You want to hold that in your hand? You want to put your glove on, hold it to the camera? So, this colony's not making it. You want me to flip it up for you? And there'll be another one on the hybrid, small hybrid.
So yeah, it looks like this colony didn't make it despite all of our efforts. Roy found the queen marked and dead in the bottom of the box. There are a few bees, but not a lot.
Yeah, this colony is not going to make it. I did find small hive beetles in there, but I never found a section of brood at all. You can see this is small hive beetle larvae here. We're crawling in and out of here. Now these hives, I mean these frames here, there's several of them that's got quite a bit of nectar on them. And what we'll do, we'll take these frames and carry them out and put them in the freezer. We won't try to save the honey off of them, but we'll freeze this nectar. And
that'll kill
the small hive beetle larvae. And next spring, if we have a colony that just don't have enough to get through, we can give them this, and this nectar will be fine for the bees. You can see how much nectar is in there, but these small hive beetle larvae, they're in here, and this colony is not making it.
Oh well.
And they were strong. This colony has acted strong all summer. We were here a couple of weeks ago and it looked good. But you can see, this is the one I picked up a while ago.
Yeah, I see all the larvae walking around.
See the larvae walking around on there?
So what I initially thought was nectar glistening is the slime from...
No, it's not really slimed yet.
No?
No.
So it actually is nectar?
It's a lot of nectar in here, but you see the little small hive beetle, and they'll get in there. Once the bees cannot defend it, they'll get in there and lay eggs, and the larvae will grow inside the cells. So what we'll do is we'll, for right now I'm going to leave this, and we're going to go on about doing our job on the other hives. Then I'm going to come back and we'll take these frames that have any nectar in them, or we'll take all these frames and put them in the freezer and freeze them out. I won't be pulling any honey off any of it at all. So you can see how many bees are flying around here. So basically we're going to shut this colony down. I'll get the bees out, close the entrance, and maybe they can make it into some other hives. Sometimes other bees will let them do that, sometimes they won't. It's near about winter, there's no brood in here, so these bees, we're not going to make it long anyhow. Hate to lose another colony, but that's kind of what happens. I'll look in here and see if I see any bees with varroa mites on top of them. Basically, usually if you see a varroa mite, it's under the belly side of the bee. And just right off, nothing's jumping out that there's varroa mites on them. But we'll come back in a little bit, work on this colony, clean it up, see if we see any. I'll get my glasses on where I can see good, and we'll try to figure out what caused this to happen. But with a dead queen this time of year, there's no hope for this colony at all. So, you know, after it requeened, it looked like it was doing great all summer. Every time we come by, they were bringing in lots of pollen. But
yeah, the hive's been very active all summer.
Very active, but it just did not make it. All right, on to the next one. All right, this is our bee-free hive.
This is the swarm that we actually saw forming in the yard, and we got from a bush and put in our hive. Hmm? A little bit of brood over here on this side. Oh wow. They're dry. Like there's no honey, there's no pollen.
There's a little bit of pollen, a little bit of nectar down in there.
Ooh, that's not looking good.
Yeah, if you want to spin that around, you can see
oh yeah, I see the nectar
glistening
now.
down in there.
But this side is dry.
Yeah, I don't think these girls are going to make it either.
And it doesn't look like they have nearly enough food to go into winter.
No.
Oh wow, yeah.
That frame's light.
Yeah. Yeah, there's nothing on this side.
Yeah, these.
Hmm.
See if you see the queen down in that corner there. She's walking around down there.
It's so bright out here, I can't see.
Yeah, I couldn't focus down in there. You got a flashlight.
See, it's so bright, I can't see. bees down there. So there's more bees in this colony than the last one, but there's no food. Yikes. Ow, I just got stung through my britches.
So, I can't get back here and see. I don't know if you can see in there, that's milk brood. So that's, there's actually brood still in there. So there was a queen here within a week or so. I do not see a queen. But that's all the brood that's in here. But I have seen no sign of queen. I can see the nectar glistening in there, so they've been bringing in stuff. I don't know if this is still viable brood, but I know that's fresh brood over there on that side. There's 4 or 5 dead bees in there, nothing to be alarmed about. Not like some of the other things we have seen this year. I don't see small hive beetles running around. Yeah, I just don't see any sign of a queen anywhere. So I don't know what we're going to do there. This hive's not going to make it either. So on to the next one.
Wow, and look at all that honey.
That frame there is heavy.
Well, there's brood. There's honey.
I can see larvae down in there.
Okay.
Like, I think. Give me your light. Maybe I can't. Maybe that's a reflection. Oh yeah, there's larvae right there.
Okay.
Not a lot, but some.
Okay.
No. That right there looks like larvae. There's larvae up in there.
Okay. So we do have some uncapped brood and capped brood there. At least these girls have some food.
Here you go, come here. And over here. Hold that. Alright, 2 or 3 frames in here that's got plenty of bees on are doing fine. The rest of them, this thing is eat up the small hive beetles.
Oh my goodness.
Can you hold that one too? You see the small hive beetles walking around on here. There's 50 small hive beetles down on this end. So what we have here is about 3 or 4 frames that the bees were probably, in reality, they're reduced down to about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 frames that the bees were able to cover. And these frames don't look bad. I mean, you know, they've got nectar in them, got a little bit of honey on top. But this is what happens when your bees die off and there's not enough bees to take care of the honey. The hive beetles hadn't overrun that one yet, but this one right here, they're just slam full. So I may have, you know, part of this might be my fault. I might have waited too long to come in here and pull my honey out. If I'd have come in here a month ago, there may have been enough bees in here that this would have all, they might have had the hive beetles under control. But the bees have lost control of their hive. The numbers are down, and they just can't keep the hive beetles under control. Now I don't know what happened with the bees. I don't know if they had roller mites or something that got them, but you can look at the number of hive beetles in there, and they'll go in there and they'll start laying eggs, and then they'll end up eating the honey out of here as they grow. They'll slime it. But I've never seen so many hive beetles, but that's what happens. I know this is the results of something bad happening to the number of bees. This frame right here was heavy. Even though that's only the top 4 full of honey, but I mean from here up it's slam full of nectar on this side. But that's a waste now. But
so can we freeze?
We can freeze these. It'll kill the hive beetles, and it won't be good for us to eat. Not by any stretch of imagination.
We could feed it back to the bees.
We could feed it back to bees. If I have a struggling colony right now,
yeah.
We've got
one left.
We've got one left here.
To look at.
We're down to 4. So our chances are not looking good right now this year. So
we're learning.
We're learning. We're gonna figure it out. Figure out what we need to do here. Oh man. Well, we've reevaluated a little bit of what's going on. Make sure that bee was on the outside of my bell. Over here in Bee Free Hive here, we have really it's enough bees to cover one good solid frame. And we looked around in there and we did find our queen. She's still alive in this hive. So this one had just a little bit of brood, but it don't have enough bees to make it through. So over in the Stumpy hive, which was tremendous amount of small hive beetles in there, because I think their population had just gotten down and they just kind of got overrun. So I'm gonna take I went through there, pulled all the frames out, the ones at the end that had a little bit of small hive beetle larvae in it. I pulled those frames out. We'll put those in the freezer. But the I think there's about 4 good frames or 5 good frames over there that's got a fair amount of bees on it. So I'm gonna bring those frames. We could not find a queen in that box. So without a queen, they don't have any chance of making it. But there's a good number of bees over there, but they don't have a queen. So I'm gonna bring those bees and put them over here. These don't have the numbers to make it. They don't have a queen. So the best chance we got is to combine them, and maybe by a miracle they'll make something happen. So that's what we're gonna do here. We're gonna transfer those over here. So I'm just gonna set this queen out of the way for a few minutes and go get these. So I let my queen out. She went right to her frame quick. I didn't even see her get out.
Okay. Well, that's good.
So how much sugar did you put in here?
It's like 1/2 to 1 sugar and like 2 drops of anise essential oil. So we're just spraying the bees that we're trying to combine. Hopefully by the time they lick each other off, they'll all be sisters and they won't fight.
Yeah, I noticed a little fighting right off. I've got several hives open out here, and there's so much nectar smell in the air that we had seen a little fighting going on anyhow. But this should calm them right down. So, right or wrong, whatever happens, happens. But these bees didn't have a chance. Those bees didn't have a chance. We'll combine them. Maybe they'll calm down here in a little bit, and maybe they can pull through. We don't know. Might check them in a couple weeks and see, but just to tell you the truth, expectations are not real high.
That still is worth a shot because neither one was going to survive like they were.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll keep you posted.
I might take that empty box over there if you're going to take the camera over, Charlotte, and see how many bees are flying around. The field bees are coming back. We may take this hive over there and sit in front of that one, spray these girls too, and maybe they'll go in. Don't know, but it's worth a try.